let's go into our papers this morning. We know we have the one that is making airwaves, which is the anti-gay bill that is yet to be assented by the president. And on the Daily Guide, we have anti-gay bill, Ghana to lose $3.8 billion World Bank funds. And the story is by Ernest Kofi. Ghana is likely to lose 3.8 billion actually in World Bank financing over the next 5 to 6 years if the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, popularly known as the Anti-Gay Bill, becomes law. The Minister of Finance, that is Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, is stating it has therefore appealed to President Akufo-Addo not to assent to the bill passed by Parliament on February 28th. In a paper assessing the economic impact of the bill, the Finance Ministry said for 2024, Ghana will lose $600 million budget support and $250 million another dollar for the Finance Stability Fund. Now, let me quote him quickly. This will negatively impact Ghana's foreign exchange reserves and exchange rate stability, as these inflows are expected to shore up the country's reserve position, the paper noted. I'm coming to you directly. What is your take on this entire bill not being assented to by the president, and the fact that the finance ministry is also asking him not to assent, and we may have losses from foreign reserves?
Thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers and friends who celebrated their birthday yesterday, Anne and Nancy. 3.8 billion.
Yes.
And we are crying foul. How much do we lose to corruption each year? Each year we lose $3 billion to corruption annually. 20% of our budget is always lost or swallowed up annually by corruption. And here we are crying foul because of some 3.8 billion we are about to lose. Now, let's go back to the story. Last week, that was when the bill was passed in Parliament. I mean, the bill has gone through various phases, as far as the consideration is concerned. And then the drafting department in Parliament are still working on the pieces of amendments that the bill went through. And so when they are done, they will also submit same to the clerk, who also certify, or better yet, authenticate that indeed it captures the various amendments that the bill went through, in the consideration stages of the bill. Thereafter, the clerk will also submit to the speaker, who will finally submit to the president to assent. As we speak, they are still working on the draft. I mean, the drafting department is still working on it. They are not done. And when they are done, that's when they will submit to the clerk to, as it were, authenticate before finally taking it to the speaker to certify. And so I think that it was in the best interest of the president, first and foremost, not to have said anything about it, because as it is, you don't have the document on your desk yet. And so saying that he's awaiting the decision by the highest court of the land, I think it was a bit premature on the part of the president, making that statement. Be that as it may, we are scared to lose 3.8 billion. I started by saying that we lose 3 billion each year to corruption. What have we done as a nation? Even in terms of leadership, what have we done in an austere year? What have we done to make sure that we put our acts together and not rely on foreign donors? We haven't done much. As a country, as a people, we haven't done much. Listen, if we are able to block all these loopholes, and then we don't lose 3 billion to corruption, and we are able to cut down the size of our government, I'm sure today we will be vetting ministers for various ministerial positions. Look at the number of government appointees in various sectors. if all of these people, if all of these agencies, we are able to reduce the numbers, I do not see why we need to rely so much on foreign aid when we ourselves are trumpeting Ghana beyond aid. But we are always, cap in arms, going around begging these people to, as it were, feed us. Where is our sovereignty? Is Ghana even independent in the first place? See how much we are spending in Koforidua just to beautify Koforidua for set match. Asphalting of road, gutters, what have you. Beautifying Koforidua just for what? Independence Day. And so it is right to ask, where is the leadership in this country? And why is the president crying foul? And then again, the Ministry of Finance. Why are they crying foul? Because of what? $3.8 billion?
I won't cut you, not to cut you, but the president spoke about it in the evening when he met with the diplomatic corps. Yes, and I would like to quote exactly what he said, which the Daily Graphic has it at their front page this morning. President speaks on LGBTQ plus bill, says institutions will determine human rights compliance. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has assured the international community that Ghana will not turn her back on her enviable long-standing record on human rights observance and attachment to rule of law. I'm quoting him verbatim. I want to assure you that no such backsliding will be contemplated or occasioned. I think it will serve little purpose to go at this stage into the details of the origin of this proposed law, which is continued on page 3, yet to reach my desk. That is why I wanted to quote him, since you said it is yet to reach. He added, President Akufo-Addo said this in reaction to last week's bipartisan passage of the proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill by Parliament on the private member motion.
The same president says, and I quote, I won't legalize same-sex marriage. This is on Citi Newsroom, 27 February 2021. Same president. When the vice president of the United States was in Ghana, listen to the statement the president made. It says the LGBTQ plus bill being considered in Parliament have been modified after my government's intervention.
But he said it's not before him.
Oh dear Lord. I repeat, the LGBTQ plus bill being considered in Parliament have been modified by my government's intervention. And this was when Kamala Harris was in Ghana. And it's actually on CNN.com.
They picked it.
This is our president saying that he's modified the bill and this intervention is by his government. So why is he crying for? We knew from the onslaught that we were going to face some of these challenges. All right? The moment we decided as a nation that, listen, it is high time we had some form of legislation as far as LGBTQ and its issues are concerned. And so we knew that some of these sanctions were going to come. But we need to brace ourselves as a nation and go through the mill.
Are we afraid that by not assenting to the bill, the reserves that we have, we may lose them? The ones we already have, we may lose them, and the financial aids that are already supposed to be passed, as per it is said over here, and I have to read it for our understanding. The expected $300 million, that is a million, financing from the first Ghana Resilience Recovery Development Policy, that is the budget support, which is currently pending parliamentary approval, might not be dispersed by the bank when it is approved by Parliament. It's also added. So is that our fear?
In essence, we are looking for some $600 million for our 2024 budgetary support, right?
Support, yes.
Just 600 million.
If we had it, we would not have gone to the IMF.
Emma, we should have more than that in this country if we were serious enough as a nation, if we were able to put our acts together as a people. Look, we have not been fiscally disciplined. That is it. Complete wastage, wanton dissipation of the taxpayers' money. And we are crying foul because we are going to lose some form of support from the IMF and the World Bank. Listen, the monies the World Bank and these Bretton Woods institutions are giving us are not for free. At the end of the day, we will still go back and pay. We will not just even pay, but we will pay with interest. And so they are not doing us any form of service or any form of charity. No. All I'm saying is that we need to block the loopholes that drains us. We are losing 20% of our budget through corruption. Annually, we are losing $3 billion US, the same $3 billion we are looking for from these Bretton Woods institutions. And so where lies the leadership?
Where lies the leadership?
If leadership is honest to itself and honest to the people of Ghana, I do not think that we will be going through these challenges that we are going through.
Right. I'll come back to you again. Or you want to finalize it?
You go on. I'll
Larry,
wait.
Yeah.
what is your take?
You know, I'm a bit careful talking about this topic.
Why?
Because then, you know, one has a difficulty which side you want to be on and how you are classified. Whether you are anti, you know, or pro.
You can be neutral.
Yeah, but you know.
Call a spade a spade.
Yes, you can be neutral and call a spade a spade.
You know, it's,
because you're speaking for the people of Ghana too.
Anyway, but I mean, I've been really scared. Let me put it, you know, madly.
What's your scare?
How suddenly we are being bombarded by certain culture. Okay, you watch football, and it's there. Okay.
It's in our cartoons.
Yes, I was coming to the cartoons.
It's in our
books,
cartoons. It's in our
educational curriculum.
Yes, they've totally changed it. Religious and moral education, cultural studies, life skills, they've all been swapped.
Yes, exactly. Vocational skills that you know we used to hear about, life skills that we studied and so on. I mean, all those things, and then there's something called Our People, Our World.
Yes.
And you only have to engage your child, and you get to hear it. Or he or she comes from school and is asking you questions and so on. Questions that you have, or things that you are unaware of. And so all you need to do is to pull your phone and start Googling it, and then you see what they're
talking about.
Yes. Occasionally you walk to your room where kids are watching TV and you see what is coming, and it is really, really, really scary. A friend of mine who lives in the UK was telling me about how these days it's difficult to wave back at a person, a guy. When he hugs you, say, "Oh, hi," and then you are confused as to whether or not you want to respond, because the next moment he's going to ask Charlie, "How big can we?" So it's becoming very, very scary.
But this may affect our finances.
I'm coming to that. Whoever thought that the president or President Akufo-Addo was just going to pick that document and sign it and announce it to the whole world must be living in some other world. You should know the president we are dealing with. You should know him by now, that he was never going to do it. He was going to use this trick. He was going to use this trick, scaremongering, flash the money thing in front of people and say that, hey, do you know something? We are going to run into trouble financially. We can't do this. I can't do roads. I can't do hospital. I can't do whatever. We know he was going to come to this, because then the confusion and so on. But you see, then you had said in the morning that, you had modified the bill. That is one. Earlier, during, I think, a BBC interview or a CNN interview, he said that it was bound to happen.
Thank you.
That was with the CNN, I think. That was what they also captured.
That was Al Jazeera, right?
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
Thanks for the correction.
He says it was bound to happen. Then suddenly, our government had modified the bill to where it is today. And what is even more surprising is where it's a bipartisan, approval in Parliament. No one dissented. Now you are calling who? You are calling diplomats and then telling them that, something, that somebody has taken the bill to court. And that you want to wait for that. Why? We know the composition of the court. That bill will be there forever and ever. Amen.
It will never be assented.
Say amen.
I can't say amen.
It will be there.
I cannot
till
say
Jesus
amen.
comes.
I cannot say amen to that.
It will be there till Jesus comes. You are the finance minister saying that, something, please don't assent the bill. When I was coming, something occurred to me. Is it still a Muslim?
Because it's a taboo for
Muslims.
Muslims
It is one of the things that,
yes.
Because I have
Deism.
Because I've heard people question, what's the vice president's take on this particular matter?
It's been dead silent.
You get it?
Because maybe he also has fears or scares like you do.
Yes, well,
Because he doesn't want either the neutrality, the pro, or the anti.
No. You get it? So writing that, hey, Mr. President, please don't assent this bill, and that these are the, repercussions, the country faces. It's all this, gimmick, tricks, all that, and so on and so forth. Listen, if you are working hard, you promise to change this economy with one district, one factory, one district, one village, one dam, one this, one that, one that, one that. Planting for food and jobs, so and so and so and so. You should be confident in yourself that all that you have put in place will be yielding some dividend for this country. And change the narrative. You don't go relying on foreigners to come and bail you out every now and then.
Are we so deficient as a people, or we have deprived ourselves of... Look at the agriculture that we have. Look at the lands we have. Look at the minerals that we have. Are we so deprived as a people, or we are not thinking in the right direction to be able to amass wealth for ourselves? That is the reason we are so afraid of losing so much money if this bill is passed.
Elaine, I have always said that this country is we are blessed beyond recognition.
We are rich.
Listen, people don't have the kind of sea that we have.
Right.
And they are making fortune.
Japan is building in the sea.
Thank you. Okay? People don't have the kind of sun we have.
Yes.
And they are doing a lot. Solar.
Sierra Leone, just here in Sierra Leone, they have so much solar, and that is what they dwell on.
The wind. People use it to, generate power.
Yeah.
And that power is used to power their industries and so on. The land, the arable lands that we have, to a point where even you can dig behind your, let's say, the back of your house.
And you can plant.
Everything, let's say even your kitchen, whatever waste from your kitchen, just throw it on any dry land. And the next moment, you'll be harvesting tomato and all that and so on. Okay?
Is it our leadership?
Yes, that is where we need to psych our people. See, we are talking about how much money.
That's $600 or 3.8 billion.
Sure, that is what we are afraid of.
Yeah.
And like he said, the bulk of that money is going to end up in people's pockets.
And the masses will
We are talking about PASCO, Ministry of Education, using 68 million Ghana cedis
to print
PASCO.
Past questions.
Not just print, photocopy.
They photocopy them too, and they
How
disperse them.
scandalous can we be, or be ruling a country like that? That is, beside the point. Then we are talking about almost $200 million to put up
The cathedral.
The cathedral.
The cathedral, because I know you like talking about it. This time you're moving away from it a little. You seem sad.
Yes, but sometimes you come across some of these things, and the corruption right now, it just stares you in the face. And
It's
yeah,
not
nobody
endemic.
cares about it, you know. Every day.
And we are not calling our leaders to order.
Ghanaians are fatigued with, you know, by corruption. Even the president himself has stopped talking about it. Do you see where we are as a people? And you are telling me that, oh, you know, anti-gay thing, and that the thing is going to the courts and so on and so forth, and that we're going to lose 3-point-something, you know, billion. How many hours did it take the president to assent to the E-Levy bill?
Okay.
Even though at the time that had also gone to the same Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But you know what
That is
he's
a great
done?
question.
He's put the Supreme Court, I mean, he's hung them dry like that. That, hey, the Chief Justice, I mean, she's always waving the Bible. We'll see what she...
You know, last year, somewhere July, this lady, Amanda Odoi, she challenged the constitutionality of the bill that was before Parliament. And the Supreme Court held that her arguments were not convincing enough to warrant any form of injunction on the bill in Parliament. So it means, to a large extent, we've even tested the law in the highest court of the land. So I don't know what sort of reasons they are going to profess this time, you know, before the apex court, whoever the individual is, because to date I don't even know who that citizen is.
You are looking for that individual.
He's still looking for the
to file it.
We don't know who that person is. You know, so we need to lift the veil and know whoever is before the court, praying the court, you know, to test for the constitutionality
of the bill.
Of the bill.
Yeah.
The president knows that individual.
Exactly my point.
But we the citizens,
let's
don't
lift the
know.
veil and then know who that person is. Having said that, same president goes ahead and says, "Yet it's castle," and so accommodate. Right? He sat on a national radio, national television, and made that categorical statement. That listen, we are not poor people. We have all the resources, and he doesn't even see the need for us to be borrowing. Now that same person is here, crying foul because we are going to lose some 3.8 billion.
Specifically, we are not going to the IMF.
Oh boy.
But,
we are
but
today.
beyond that, beyond yet Sikasuna and so accommodate, you know, he said also that Sikano woho. Sikano woho. Then he later, then there was another thing he used where he said that, sorry, I've lost my line of thinking. But the point is, we are looking for the particular individual
To unveil.
Exactly, because I mean, you are in the news, or we are all, you know, we don't know who the person is.
All we know is that there's a citizen
Yes, but
who is before the court.
who is before the court.
Asking or trying to test the constitution.
Exactly, and the president has already told the diplomatic, you know, corps that, oh, you know something.
Where did the president get that information?
Exactly.
Maybe
And before then, the finance minister.
I don't know.
I was wrapping
Please
up.
wrap up quickly so we can go on to our next topic.
All we are asking is that the president shows leadership, all right? And his demeanor, his utterances clearly shows that there is really no sign on his part to sign or assent to the bill if it is brought before him from Parliament. What I'm saying is, show leadership, cut down on the size of your government, block the loopholes that, you know, individuals and even your appointees are able to maneuver their ways, source sourcing and what have you, you know, the corruption level, the wastage. If we are able to curb all of these, I do not see why we should be relying on the IMF and the World Bank and all these institutions, you know, that more or less are neo-colonizing us somehow. All right? So the president must act and must act decisively. Cut down on your government, the size of your government.
Thank you very much.
Reduce it now.
Thank you very much.